like to say hello again to all my friends here at the Xanga blogging site. Today, which is Friday, December 23rd, 2011, when I got back to the apartment and opened my mailbox, I got a couple of postcards from some of my Xanga friends. Well, I should say one postcard and one package. The first postcard I got, which is of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, was sent to me by my friend Xanga, who is known as her suitcase heart here at Xanga. And as you know, some of you already know who know me, I'm an avid stamp collector, and there's also an interesting looking stamp on the back of the postcard. So needless to say, I'll be keeping this postcard as well as the stamp. But Xanga, as many of you here who know her, know that she's been living in Paris for the past few months, and so she sent me a postcard of the famous Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Quasimodo is not at the top of one of the towers, shaking water out of his ears and going, the bells, the bells. I guess he was on his lunch break at the time this postcard photo was taken. And neither is there any Esmeralda, the gypsy dancing girl in the photo. She was on her lunch break too. Well, actually she had a hairstyling appointment, so she wasn't there dancing in front of Notre Dame Cathedral, arousing lust in the heart of the Archdeacon of Paris, like in Victor Hugo's famous novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So thank you very much, Xanga, for the postcard of Notre Dame in Paris. The other package I got was sent to me from Singapore, from my friend Sylvia, who's known as Morning Mocha here at Xanga. Now, in the package itself, on this side here, there's a customs declaration saying what's in the package, and it's marked tea and candy. A year ago, back in November of 2010, Sylvia, when she was visiting Japan, sent me some tea and candy from Japan, and though that tea and candy arrived safely in the mail, and I really enjoyed the tea, and I loved that candy. Actually, that candy in Japan, I've never tasted candy quite like it anywhere in the world, Sylvia, but it's really good. So if you ever visit Japan again, please send me more of that candy. But as for the tea and candy from Singapore, although the customs declaration said tea and candy, when I opened the package, lo and behold, there was nothing in it. Now, there are two possible explanations for this. I hope it's the former, that's the correct one. Sylvia may be like me, she may be absent-minded and filled out the envelope, but then forgot to put the tea and candy in the package. In previous years, I have filled out Christmas cards, filled out the envelope, but then I forgot to put the card in the envelope. So I hope this is what happened here. If not, the latter explanation is that Canada Customs is starting to help itself to things that are being sent in the mail. That somewhere in a Canada Customs post in Canada, there are Canadian customs agents who are busy drinking my tea and eating my candy. So I hope that's not the case. I remember when my dad and I visited the U.S., I forget how many years ago now, but quite a long, at least 15 years ago, we were crossing the border back into Canada. My dad forgot the exact numbers of bottles of alcohol he had bought down in the States, and the bitch, it was a woman, she was probably, her mother was probably a female stormtrooper in the SS. Since my dad didn't have the exact number, was wanting to confiscate the car. She confiscated all the alcohol, and she relented and said she wouldn't confiscate the car. But I suspect the real reason was that the bitch was an alcoholic lush. She had a big red shiny nose, even redder and shinier than that of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I think was indicative of a serious drinking problem. So she confiscated my dad's booze and no doubt drank it all herself. So I hope, Sylvia, you were just absent-minded like me and forgot to put the tea and candy in the envelope, and that Canada Customs agents aren't busy helping themselves to goodies sent to Canadians from friends living overseas. Anyhow, so thank you very much, Shanilia, for the postcard of Notre Dame, and thank you very much, Sylvia, for the envelope, which may have had tea and candy in it, which may now be in the stomachs or probably in the outhouses currently of the Canada Customs Post, or you may have forgotten to put it in. Anyhow, thanks again, Shanilia and Sylvia, and have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.